and they're left with $275 a month. This is the reality.
Heavily innovated technology. It is definitely not normal to
Getting around in America costs us about $1,000 a month. That's not
to me, but I didn't lose anything from that transaction.
We don't have nothing like that over here. For shopping and souvenirs, we spent $300.
Stairs, and that is embarrassing and a huge pain in the ass. And also,
so quickly did some research. Is there Diet Coke in Japan? No.
Nara Express. I'm staying in Shinjuku area and I'm in...
I just can't use chopsticks well, it's just a fact. I have tried, but the people at the restaurants that saw I was...
It was definitely a unique and filling experience. We ended up the night trying...
Definitely not all of them, but just some of my faves. We got Pickle and Mr. Donut, Coke.
And they're famous for actually bowing back at you. It was really cool to see, but beware, some of them are really aggressive.
I'm flying into Tokyo and staying there, and then also doing a day trip to...
日本に行った連中な、帰ってから同じことを言い出す。お前の国が未来じゃねえだけだってな。どうも、海外の反応を届けるエドハムだ。まずは着く前からだ。もう浮き足立ってる。降りた瞬間に何かが違うらしい。
Me and my husband just booked a trip to Japan and we're so excited. However, I'm gonna need to hold your hand when I say this because I need the emotional support. No Diet Coke in Japan. We're getting so excited, like looking at the street view of the little vending machines, and I was looking at one of the vending machines like, okay, they have Coke, they have apple juice, they have iced coffee. Where's the Diet Coke? So quickly did some research. Is there Diet Coke in Japan? No. Coke Zero, no Diet Coke. Not the same. I was like, okay, maybe did they Coke? Not the same. I was like, okay, maybe did they have Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar? No. Do they have Alani? Absolutely not. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. However, we were trying to learn some basic words. I was like, maybe we should learn the word bathroom, right?
俺は断然晴れだはだな。
We were trying to learn some basic words. I was like, maybe we should learn the word bathroom, right? Like, that's something you should be able to ask someone about. And we asked Alexa, how do you say bathroom in Japanese? She gave us a word and we tried to repeat it. We're like, try to repeat it confidently. We're like, Alexa, what do we say? She said, you said, yes, confidently. We're like, Alexa, what do we say? She said, you said, yesterday, Earth. So not only am I going to be uncaffeinated in Japan, I'm going to be looking a fool. So love that.
And see what works and what doesn't. Basically, the general itinerary is that I'm going for 3 weeks. I'm flying into Tokyo and staying there, and then also doing a day trip to Mount Fuji while I'm in Tokyo. Then I'm going to Kyoto, staying there for a few days and doing Fuji while I'm in Tokyo. Then I'm going to Kyoto, staying there for a few days and doing a day trip to Osaka, and then I'm going to fly to and from Okinawa. While I'm staying in Tokyo, my base is going to be Asakusa. I know that a lot of people say Shinjuku, Shibuya, like that main area, there's a lot more going on, but people say Shinjuku, Shibuya, like that main area, there's a lot more going on, but I'm not the type of person who really likes nightlife or like bars or drinking or anything. So I'm staying in Asakusa because I just heard it's more chill. It's like a chill vibe, and that's what I love. And I found a
でかいパターンで階段は地獄だぜ。
I wish I knew before my first trip to Japan. Number one is when you're flying into Tokyo, you'll see 2 different options. You'll see Haneda and Narita. Pick Haneda unless Narita is significantly cheaper. Haneda is closer to the city. It's just more connected. It's just so nice to hop off a long flight. It's just more connected. It's just so nice to hop off a long flight and then just be right in the city within 30 minutes, you know? Number 2, if you're bringing a giant suitcase, I would reconsider being right in the city within 30 minutes, you know? Number 2, if you're bringing a giant suitcase, I would reconsider because for a couple of reasons. Number 1, older train stations simply just don't have elevators or escalators. And so you're going to be hauling that shit up and down some stairs, and that is embarrassing and a huge pain in the ass. And also, if you're taking the Shinkansen between cities at all, case, not the end of the world, but I made this mistake because I didn't know this rule and I got yelled at by the train conductor and it was very embarrassing. Or you can ship your stuff ahead. That's coming in a future video.
Customs and immigration process a breeze. Welcome to Japan and hello Tokyo. First things first, I'm getting my Suica card because I will need this to get on the transport. Then we boarded the Nara Express. I'm staying in Shinjuku area and I'm immediately blown away by the bright.
次は人だ。ここで固まるやつが多い。店に入った瞬間の空気が違うんだとよ。
That would never happen in Japan. So what is that? Is that because that worker has a poor work ethic and the Japanese has a good work ethic? Or is it because that woman in the store in the US is free. She has no concern about me or...
Oh, you can check that video in my playlist. In the kimono shop's hairstylist did so well. I looked so cute. The hair looked perfect. After getting dressed in our kimonos, we made our way to Uji to spend the day. Went to this beautiful temple and took pictures. The day was
The store in the US is free. She has no concern about me or her job. She doesn't need to be nice to me. She wasn't rude to me. Well, she wasn't rude to me, but I didn't lose anything from that transaction, and she still got to talk to her friend. Transfer that to Japan. I walk in the store as soon as I walk into, and she still got to talk to her friend. Transfer that to Japan. I walk in the store as soon as I walk into the store. The Japanese staff are up like this. They've come to attention. They're very aware of me. And they will have their script ready to say it. Because if they don't do it, they're going to be punished. And they know that. And they know it.
うちの母ちゃんも店じゃ愛想がいい。
Specific. I walked into a store and had these within 10 minutes. And finally, let me piss off the internet with this fork once again. I just can't use chopsticks well, it's just a fact. I have tried, but the people at the restaurants that saw I was clearly struggling were so kind they'd bring me a fork. The people at the restaurants that saw I was clearly struggling were so kind they'd bring me a fork and we'd go on with our day. So eat your meal in peace, it's all gonna be okay. What other tips can I give you from my experience in Japan?
And take cherry blossom pictures. On this kimono rental shop, you can watch my entire video on this. It's on my page. But the store and the staff were all so sweet. It's basically a full service. You can rent the kimono, they do your hair. I did get my hair freshly colored a couple days ago in Tokyo. On my page that you can check out. But this was basically different courses of sukiyaki, kind of like omakase. It was definitely a unique and filling experience. We ended up the night trying to go to Macho Bar, but it was all booked out. If you know, you know, this place is crazy. I was sad getting...
箸が使えねえのは仕方ねえやな。
Random Japan Culture Shocks Part 7 that nobody talks about. Everyone likes to talk about how the public bathrooms are really clean, right? But nobody mentions how there's like usually no paper towels, and thanks to COVID there's not really many hands. But because of that, a lot of people will have their own handkerchiefs. I know this is the case for women, but actually I have no idea about guys. Do they have handkerchiefs as well? Sold pretty much everywhere. An easy thing to find as a souvenir. And I used to not really like it because it's kind of inconvenient. The fact that you have to bring a handkerchief everywhere, you have to dig into your bag when your hands are wet just to dry them. But now I've kind of accumulated my own handkerchief collection. So let me show you. Definitely not all of them, but just some of my faves. We got Pokemon Mr. Donut, Kirby, Kiki's Delivery Service. Time I went to Hakone. These are such good souvenirs. So basically you should always have one in your purse if you're going to Japan.
They will complain, and boy, do they complain. It's in their whole DNA that from birth, that if they don't do the right thing, they will be shamed. They will be punished. And I don't think Americans feel that. And you tell me, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
飯だ。ここだけは負ける気がしねえ。1時間並んでも食う価値があるとよ。
Exploring to find food. Then we found the Godzilla. For my first meal in Japan, found Ichiran. I wanted this to be my first meal here. It was 10 o'clock at night and there was a huge line and it took us almost 1 hour to be seated. I finally placed my order, filled in the preference.
But make sure you don't leave anything behind. First thing we hit up was Kunaman Market, which is a place with a bunch of amazing food. And if you go, please try this A5 Wagyu. It literally melts in your mouth. Then as a coffee lover, of course, we're going to find coffee shops in...
It took us almost 1 hour to be seated. I finally placed my order, filled in the preference sheet, and now we wait. First arrived the pork and then the noodles. I went for extra spicy because your girl loves spicy food. The broth was creamy and thick, just what I imagined. First sip of
espresso is now my new favorite thing. The next day for breakfast, we wanted to try the viral Japanese souffle pancakes, and these did not disappoint at all. I got the tiramisu one and it was hit. Conveniently enough, the breakfast place was near a bunch of shops, so...
俺や、替え玉2回が定位置だ。
We spent a little bit of money. And for the food, y'all, everything we ate was a 10 out of 10. Well, except this little thing right here. If you see this, run. But everything else, 10 out of 10. When you go, get you some Wagyu, try the extra fatty tuna.
Love spicy food. The broth was creamy and thick, just what I imagined. First sip of the broth and it lived up to all of my expectations. That is Jeff in the background saying how good the food is. So happy I had this as my first meal in Japan. I am fully satisfied. Follow me as
Wagyu, it literally melts in your mouth. Then as a coffee lover, of course, we're going to find coffee shops in Japan, and Arlog became one of my favorites from the trip that I visited 2 different locations. The matcha with espresso is now my new favorite thing. The next day for breakfast, we wanted to try the viral Japanese...
But everything else, 10 out of 10. When you go, get you some Wagyu, try the extra fatty tuna. Oh, and our favorite ramen was either this spot or Ichiran. Literally crying because we don't have these back at home. For the excursions, we paid $250. We did.
I had this as my first meal in Japan. I am fully satisfied. Follow me as I'll be sharing my daily vlogs, what I ate in in a day and how much I spent during my time in Japan.
和牛が口で溶けるってのは本当だ。
Literally all kinds of shops here. But after I needed to refuel with some sushi to do even more shopping, hit up this very popular ring shop where they do engravings that I love.
Beautiful view of the Tokyo Skytree. Now, if you go all the way to Japan and don't do any shopping, you should be arrested. Because where did you get all that discipline? They have so many options to choose from to shop everywhere. They even had a Zara inside the subway station. We don't have options to choose from to shop everywhere. They even had a Zara inside the subway station. We don't have nothing like that over here. For shopping and souvenirs, we spent $300. And I'm gonna exclude
Deer just roaming around, and they're famous for actually bowing back at you. It was really cool to see, but beware, some of them are really aggressive. Like this one just tore up this whole bag of stuff we had that didn't even have food. And then you got this dude trying to feed them with the lady.
And we got in line for this lunch spot we've been wanting to try, and it's like kind of like a DIY, like make your own udon noodles. So you just like put in all the different fixings into the like
電車だ。ここが一番驚かれる。数分おきに来て時間通りに着く。
Getting around in America costs us about $1,000 a month. That's not just gas and insurance. It's also over the year maintenance, registration, and the one people miss, depreciation. The car losing value.
This is day 2 of my 3-day Tokyo itinerary where I grouped everything by area so you don't waste half of your trip on the subway. Check out part 1 and save this for your Tokyo trip. First, start your morning at Amayoko Market, one of the best places in Tokyo for street.
And the one people miss, depreciation. The car losing value just sitting there. In Japan, one train pass, about $70. No gas, no insurance, nothing sitting in the driveway losing value, just 70. And that one pass, because of the infrastructure,
1分遅れて謝る国だからな。
just 70. And that one pass, because of the infrastructure, basically replaces the car. Train every few minutes, on time, clean enough to eat off the floor, you read, you nap, you get off less stressed than when you got on. Now, the transit we'd be leaving, less stressed than when you got on. Now, the transit we'd be leaving, late, dirty, things you see and smell that you can't unsee. One of these countries was built for the people living in it. The other robs your wallet. Which one would you pick?
And a huge pain in the ass. And also, if you're taking the Shinkansen between cities at all, you have to book the specific oversized luggage seats. If you have a big suitcase, not the end of the world, but
車がいらねえってのはでかいぞ。
Today is Mount Fuji Day in Tokyo. Here's how we got from our Tokyo hotel to the top of the mountain. We also found out why people prefer the Japanese countryside to the city. And we sampled the most gorgeous food of our trip, literally plucked from the farms themselves. We learned so much about Japanese culture, religion, and saw some of the most gorgeous shrines.
Shocking how much they add up. If you're just trying to get from point A to point B, definitely consider a Shinkansen or a domestic flight. Domestic flights are very affordable. I was shocked. I cover way more tips and tricks like this in my Japan travel guide and bring cash.
The next part of the tour is unskippable, so definitely do not miss this part. We got dropped off at Owakidoni station and we ended up getting this cable car so that we could be in the mountains at one with nature. If you are scared of heights, this might actually be quite scary for you, but I loved it. Now,
if you're going to Japan, I need you to trust me on this one. I'm willing to walk into one of the most crowded places in Kyoto because there's a dessert in here that I genuinely cannot stop thinking about. This is Nishiki Market, and calling
細けいところが気になりだす頃だ。待てか、トイレの話が一番出てくる。
There's like usually no paper towels, and thanks to COVID, there's not really many hand drying machines. But because of that, a lot of people will have their own handkerchiefs. I know this is the case for
Dogs go to a dog cafe. Literally every toilet has a bidet. You must try it. Trust me. You don't have to wait in line at Onitsuka unless you want the engraving or something specific. I walked into a
slot for when you can enter. Their attention to detail is so beautiful and amazing for everything. Even for their roller coasters, you can pick what song you want to hear.
紙がないのは確かに困るわな。
I'm looking for one thing. This. And I swear, I've tried versions of this dessert in other parts of Japan, but something about this one is completely different. It's vanilla soft serve topped with an actual piece of fresh honeycomb.
Also very famous because I'm pretty sure the same guy who designed the bullet train and Ferraris built this ropeway system. But look at this view. You get a complete 360 of Nagasaki.
That we had to find them ourselves. Number 1, if you're going to Mount Fuji, you need to check out a tiny car rental. These are like mini go-karts. You get to be on this tour and you get to go all around Mount Fuji. It's about a 4-hour experience. The family
ばあさんがハンカチ持ち歩いてた理由だ。
Sensoji Temple, Tokyo's oldest and most famous temple. It's really beautiful here, I highly recommend. After that, take a relaxing walk through Sumida Park where you'll get amazing views of the river, cherry blossoms in season, and the Tokyo skyline.
For our experience, the family that runs this small business is so nice. It is such an amazing experience, and I would highly recommend. You stop for video opportunities, you stop for...
Skip Don Quixote. Tokyo's best souvenir shopping is actually here. If you're looking for affordable and unique souvenirs, head to Kappabashi Kitchenware Town, just a short walk from Sensoji Temple and Ueno Park. This 800...
ここからだ。母国と比べ始めるぞ。未来に生きてるのは日本じゃねえとよ。
Japan is not living in 2050. You just live in the United States of America. She's right. China is not in the year of 2050 in America. You see, we used to say the same thing. It became this repetitive thing when we went to other countries. Oh wow, they don't have this in America. America doesn't have this. Or, man, where has this been my whole life? High-speed rail. She's right. China is not in the year of 2050, and neither is Japan. You just live in America. You see, we used to say the same thing. It became this, man, where has this been my whole life? High-speed rail, affordable healthcare, nice infrastructure. The reality is, this is how life should be. This is how our tax dollars should be spent. As tax-paying citizens, we deserve the best public services, at least.
税金の使い道の話になってきやがった。
People were able to achieve the American dream in a reasonable time frame. The first-time homebuyer in 1980s was around 29 years old. So you could graduate college at 23, which was basically free, and then within just 6 years of starting your job, working.
But anyway, it's 2025. Upgrades to daily public services should be a right, not a luxury. It is almost as if they care more about upgrading our phones versus upgrading daily essentials. It was just the other day when we realized that none of the...
Within just 6 years of starting your job, working your way up in the company, meeting a partner, having a couple kids, buying a house, a lot of times with 20% down, was all achievable in your 20s. Now, imagine someone graduating at 23 years old, achievable in your 20s. Now, imagine someone graduating at 23 years old. On average, it's going to take them 17 years to buy a house. And it's going to take, on average, 10 to 20 years to pay off their college debt. And it's going to take people till their 40s.
29で家が買えた国の話だ。
Third world countries outside the US are in the future. Their government just knows how to put tax dollars to use in a different way. Could you imagine how the USA would look if they positively innovated technology? It is definitely not
pay off their college debt. And it's going to take people till their 40s to have a shot at the American dream now. It's not impossible, but we feel it's unfair and unjust because it shouldn't be getting more difficult. You two are so wrong. In the past 30 years, adjusted for inflation, the home prices have gone up 35%. The asking rent has gone up 35%. College for a 4-year state tuition has gone up 100%, and health insurance has gone up 150%. Yet real wages have only gone up 20%. And insurance has gone up 150%. Yet real wages have only gone up 20%. And I'm using 20% based on the median, which is $64,000 today. Most Gen Zers are making about $50K. In fact, HBO Max, nothing, and they're left with $275 a month. This is the reality of the people who are watching the news, hearing this shit. 100 million people are struggling. We're trying to help people make more money and get the...
最後だ。帰ってからも抜けねえ。何が普通かわからなくなるらしい。
I feel it's unfair and unjust because it shouldn't be getting more difficult. When you have this much growth and this much wealth in the country, it should be getting easier. And that's what we're fighting for. With wages not being high enough and the cost of living being...
It would look if they positively innovated technology. It is definitely not normal to see people struggling or homeless. A lot of the things that people think are normal in the US.
Crying because we don't have these back at home. For the excursions, we paid $250. We did all the things to do. We even traveled to try and see Mount Fuji. But who knew it was only visible less than half the year? Rookie mistake.
Went to an izakaya. We also ended the night with karaoke. You will meet the most fun people ever. It is a great opportunity for you to kind of mingle with other people that are visiting Japan.
this place is crazy. I was sad getting rid of my beautiful hairstyle while getting ready for bed. Maybe one day I'll recreate this hairdo, but make sure to follow for more Japan adventures.
Or homeless. A lot of the things that people think are normal in the US definitely are not. Once you step out of the comfort zone and travel, you really begin to understand what is supposed to be normal and how public systems are supposed to be.
Get this journey started. This is my first time traveling to Japan, and that too for the cherry blossom season. This will be the longest 10 hours ahead. By the way, do you like aeroplane meals? We were served salmon teriyaki and chicken karage. Okay,
I'll also drop it here, but I'm excited, guys. Okay, bye.
当たり前に暮らしてる国が誰かの答えだった。当たり前な、当たり前じゃねえ国もある。気に入ったら登録してくれ。